Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Happy Wednesday. We are here with another random item for our boxed lunch series. The boxed lunch series is every Wednesday around noon Eastern time. And I just make boxes for random items I find. These boxes will help you for craft fairs, your kids' Halloween celebration or classroom celebrations, whatever, Secret Santas at work, whatever you need it for. These boxes will help for your swaps. I'm actually using this for a swap. So that's what we're going to do. So these two coffees were in my local store. No, I'm not in the United States right now. Most of you know that. But in the States, you can get little packs of coffee or, anything in a little pack. They actually had coffee and they actually had like this, which is, I'm assuming it's like cream of wheat, it looks more like, than oatmeal. So this was in the store too. So I'll probably make some type of box for this as well. I don't know. I wanted to try this, so I just bought it. All right. This box is slightly bigger than our Clorox wipes box that I did the very first box lunch series. It's going to be thicker. Now, I've already made the box because I was doing the video, but then I got so tongue-tied. I was saying wrong measurements left and right, and so I decided to redo it because I don't want to confuse anyone, because sometimes that can be very confusing, right? So I don't want to do that. So we're going to make our regular box that can be flat. Right, just our normal flat box. And then we're also going to make a vertical hinge box. Okay. So the vertical hinge box, this is the easy method where you use a bottom and a lid, and then you just glue it on the back. If we were to do the pizza box method, and then my glue's still wet. If we were to do the pizza box method, you would need a piece of paper that was, here's where I was trying to do a pizza box, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 inches long, and I don't want to have to tape paper together and stuff like that. So we're going to do it the easy way. Let's go ahead and do this hinged box first. Just because I'm not great at these boxes, as great as I am with our repetition box, but I'm trying to make these second nature just like the other box. And so let's do it. Okay, so we need a scratch piece of paper because my template is not going to work. And I just use paper that this just happens to be a piece from my printer when it prints the I don't know, just scrap paper. You guys don't need to know the whole backstory, I guess. All right, so let me measure these, to be honest, before I start saying crazy stuff. This is roughly, this is the bigger one, so 3.5, 5. Okay, so I need it 5 by 3.5 by 1. Right. Because these are about 1/2 inch each, so I just picked one. Okay. So you're going to need 2 pieces, and we're going to do them the exact same size. If you guys followed me when I did a hinge box before, I told you to make the top slightly bigger. You don't have to. You really, really don't. Not with a larger size box. The smaller boxes, like your 1 inch by 1 inch boxes, those are not forgiving. So you have to be precise. The bigger boxes, you can manipulate them how you want. So we're going to do them the exact same size. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and draw. This is my box. I know I need 1 inch all the way around. So So 1, 1, 1, 1. The up and down is 5. And my right to left is 3.5. This way. Okay, so let's go ahead and math that. So 3, 4, 5.5 by, we're gonna math our up and down, 5, 6, 7. 5.5 by 7. Scored at 1 inch on all 4 sides. Okay, so we can get our box at a 1 sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper, which is right somewhere on my desk. Great. And now I can't find my mouse to pause this. Oh, here's my mouse. Okay, let me find my paper. Okay, so because we're making our box the same exact measurements, the top and the bottom, we're going to take our 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, put the short side up top, we're going to cut that down to 7. Okay, we're going to turn it to the long side and cut it at 5.5. So you have 2 identical pieces of paper. We're going to score at 1 on all 4 sides for both of them. So 1, rotate. 1, rotate. 1, rotate. 1. Yes, I was lazy and did not open up my my arm. Don't care, because I'm a lazy crafter sometimes. All right, 1. This is the second piece now. Rotate. 1. Rotate. 1. Probably would just be faster if I opened it up because I could make the proper measurement, to be honest. And 1. Great. Okay, so I'm going to make this a little tiny bit different than, if you guys watched the Hinged box that I made for Tamika Sending Smiles. Oh, something sticky. A lot of people were like, the method that I do it, they're like, is it really crucial to do a certain step? It's not. I'm not going to explain the step that I did, but I'm just going to show you here. It's easy. All the step is that when you cut your tabs, do you cut them on the short side or the long side? That doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is that you need to do the same to the top of your paper to the bottom of your paper. So if you cut your squares on the short side, you need to cut your squares on the short side here. If you cut them on the long side, you need to cut them on the long side. The other step, or these back tabs, when to cut them out. I prefer to build my front tab first and then cut those out, but it's not, you don't have to. It's not set in stone, okay? And you'll see. All this is what makes you comfortable. The way I do things may be so confusing, and you watch another crafter do my exact same tutorial, but they turn their paper to the left instead of the right, and your light bulb goes off. I don't know. That's just how the brain works. That's what happens to me. Somebody will do it. It's so easy. I can't understand it. Somebody will do it a complicated way. I get it. All right. So we're going to go ahead and cut out our tabs. This is for our bottom. So I'm on the short side. And we're just going to miter. And I'm just going to cut off a little bit. As usual, this part is optional. Mitering is not optional. because if you don't miter, you're gonna have like, when you put your box together like this, oh, you can't see. There's gonna be a little tiny piece that hangs over and it's gonna drive you nuts. All right, so I cut the top, now I need to cut the bottom. I'm gonna miter. Why are my scissors not wanting to open? All right, again, cut, miter, miter, and cut. Okay. I prefer to do, I prefer to put glue on all 4 of my tabs at once and work just a little bit faster so my glue doesn't dry. Just because I'm impatient. And if you do one at a time, you have to hold it and wait for the glue to dry. But if you do all 4, by the time you get to the 4th one, your glue is almost dry. This is clogged, of course it is. You don't have to wait as long. All right, so you want to make sure your seams match completely. Your corners are perfect. Okay. And I gotta unclog my glue. Where's my mouse? Okay. All right, so I'm gonna glue. Oh my gosh, what is stuck in there? I'm gonna have to wash my glue cap because clearly something is stuck in the glue cap. Which it happens because I don't put my my lid on, so the glue dries. Come on, just a little bit. We're almost done. All right, just like that. All right, so we have our bottom box, and I'm gonna unclog this. Okay, I somehow managed to glue a tiny little piece of paper in my glue tip, and that's what was happening. But nothing a little hot water didn't take care of. All right, so let's go ahead and do our top. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut on the long side just so you guys can see what I mean by the tabs don't make a difference. Now, when I do my hinge boxes, I typically don't cut all of my tabs like I am right now. But this is what I was talking about in the beginning where people are like, were certain steps absolutely necessary? I think it'd be easier if you did this first or did this second. All of this is your preference. Whether you put your tabs together first, cut them off, or whatever the case may be, what you need to end up with is one side is gonna be glued with corners, and then the other side, you're gonna cut the tabs completely off. So I prefer, my preference is to go ahead and glue the front of my box first, and then cut my tabs off second. Some people suggested that I go ahead and cut off my tabs now. So we can do that. So we're going to have a vertical opening box, and what I mean by that is that it's going to open from bottom to top. Okay, like this, like a Pac-Man. Now, if you want a horizontal opening box, then your box is going to open like this. Okay, so like that. Okay, vertical, horizontal. If you cut your tabs off on the wrong side, then your box is going to open the other way. You can fix it. Don't worry. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my tabs off now because that's what people said they wanted, which is fine. So there. And now my other 2 tabs, I still need a miter. And I need to glue them shut. Okay. I think the reason I like to wait to cut my tabs off is if I'm using directional paper and I glue the wrong tabs together, I can easily just peel that apart and fix it that way. But once you cut those tabs off, that's your back. So what I mean by that is if you had some type of decoration on here and this ended up being the front, like your direction, like this is your little person, my beautiful artistic drawing. And so you need your box to go like this, but you accidentally cut the wrong tabs off. That's a little harder to fix. You're gonna have to put a piece of paper over it and call it and, you know, cover it up. That's why I like to wait to cut my tabs, but there's no right or wrong way when it comes to your preference. I hope that makes sense and doesn't confuse anybody. And then, so you have the one back flap that's nothing's been done to it except for cut the tabs off. I'm gonna put my box together. And again, this is my preference. I like to put my box all the way together. Some people, they wanted to just glue it without putting the box on, which I didn't understand what they were saying in the comments. So we're gonna do it this way. Okay, so you're just gonna glue it. Any overage glue. Super easy. Make sure you let your glue dry. Okay. This is what I was saying in my other video. The way you cut your hinges is going to be your preference. If you don't mind seeing the two tabs right here, cut it this way, you know. It's all about your preference. I was going to go into more detail with that sentence, but I'm not, because I feel like I'm confusing you. All right, so now we're going to take our circle punch and we're just going to make a little finger pull, optional. You can cut your scissors, you can cut a little notch out with your scissors, and our box is completely done. Okay? I don't know why for me these boxes are harder for me to explain than than our lay flat boxes and our repetition boxes. I don't know why, but it is. I think I make it more complicated than what it needs to be, but you know, we all have our own learning curve, and I don't know. These are harder for me to explain. Okay, let's get our repetition box done. Here we go. Box template. Draw you 5 rectangles and, you know, put 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. So thanks to our other box, we already know that our item size is 5 by 3.5 by 1. So we know we're going to need 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. I want my tab to be 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Okay. I don't know what color I normally do the up and down, but today it's going to be red. That is 5 inches. And my left to right are going to be blue. That's 3.5. Right? Because, boom, 3.5 is left to right. 5 inches is up and down. Okay. Right. So let's go ahead and math this out. So I need to do my left to right measurement. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I need to do my up and down, which is going to be all of these. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 by 10. All right, so my blue piece is the bigger number, so that's going to be the long side. So you need to look up here. That's going left to right. So I know I need 1 inch. Oops. I need 1 inch. I need to add 3.5 to that, so that's 4.5. Add an inch, 5.5, and then add 3.5, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. We'll check that measurement on the scoreboard. And then on the short side, our number is in red, so that's our red arrows. So we know we need 1/2 inch and 1 inch on both sides. So that's 1/2 and 1.5. And then the other two measurements we'll figure out. Okay, these boxes are so much easier for me. All right, we need a piece of paper 8x10. Super easy. Eight by 10. You would think that the other box would be such an easier box for me, but guess I like complicated. All right, long side. We need 1 inch. Let me move this drink before I spill it everywhere. 1 inch, 4.5, 5.5, and I need 1 inch on the other side. Checking my math. 1, 4.5, 5.5, and 9. Good job. All right, so that's correct. Short side, I need 1/2 inch. That's my little tab thingy. And then I need to add 1 inch to that, so 1.5. Okay. And you do the same on the other side. 1/2 inch and 1.5. Okay. And so those measurements are 1/2 inch, 1.5, 6.5, and 7.5. Okay, perfect. Perfect. All right. Let me varnish so you can see because we have shadows today. It is super hazy outside and it's very, very hot. So I cannot open up my windows. And so I get shadows when I'm just using the overhead lights. But gotta use what we got, right? Okay. So I know I don't usually varnish first, but I couldn't see the score lines myself. So I know you guys couldn't see them. All right, the same repetition. Top 4 boxes on bottom and top we don't need. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Scissors. Again, that was putting your long side at the top. And cut. What you do to the bottom, you need to do to the top. So here we go. And cut. And cut. Okay. Put it back to starting position. Miter. Miter. Cut up the score line. Cut off roughly half. Miter. Miter. Okay. Cut up the score line. Cut off roughly half. And miter. And miter. What you do to the bottom, you need to do to the top. Flip her over. And cut the score line. Cut off roughly half. And miter. And miter. I'm not gonna decorate these because I don't want to hold you up, but cut off roughly half and miter and miter. Okay. Corner rounder. I use the corner inch the 1/4 inch corner rounder section. Oops, I did not do that one very well. And here we go. Here we go. Okay. We're good. I'm going to cut off a little tiny sliver here. Again, this little petty sliver is optional. You probably don't even have to do it. Make sure you get your glue to the very edge. Got a little glue crazy there. Put your box together. Got me this cheap little white washcloth from Walmart for like 88 cents. Probably 10 or so years ago. And it's my favorite glue towel. When it gets all nasty, you just put it in the washing machine. All right, your box is done. See how much faster and easier these boxes are to me than a Hinged box? The Hinged box should be easy. It just, for whatever reason, it is so much harder for me to explain the Hinged box. I don't know what. Anyway, that is our tutorial because I'm not going to decorate it. But it fits our little coffees perfectly. Like so. Or in our hinge, or in our repetition box. It's perfect. I love it. Actually, you know what? You can add a little finger pull to this one too if you want. Let's see here. And then that way it'll be easier for your partner or, you know, whoever you're making this for to pull the lid in and out. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.